And welcome on back from day one. Depending on when YouTube put these out, they could be anywhere from just a few minutes to half hour or so difference. But we continue on from where we were in part 2 with a breakdown of the Utica, Michigan situation with cop baiting frauditors. Now, let's continue.
For your officers to assault people, smack their phones out of their hands, cuss at them.
The officer smacked his phone.
This conversation.
I'm just asking. I'm asking because I'm pretty upset about that.
I'm trying to be calm.
Yeah, I'm calm.
Upon arrival in the conversation, Mr. Jones immediately speaks aggressive to the mayor, Calino, once again acting against an individual who may want to hear their grievance, but may be left with a negative impression of their behavior and validity of the account of the incident against Sergeant Moravito due to their actions.
And,
He is trying to.
I'm just loud.
Yeah, and he is trying to.
But when you just start a conversation with a very,
Wait till you see what happens.
It's a very blunt question. It absolutely is. But I'm pretty upset that he smacked my $1,000.
well, the obvious answer is, of course it's not.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So what the real thing we have to determine is why do you think that happened?
Mm-hmm.
Did it happen?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So
by asking a rhetorical question that the answer is obvious.
Well, it's not always obvious.
Oh,
no, there's some mayors in the United States that are completely okay with how their departments act.
Mr. Jones continued to speak in a disrespectful manner to Mayor Calorino, further souring any potential dialogue and potential assistance that he may have been willing to provide these individuals if they had a legitimate complaint.
It's true. There are many mayors that are quite okay with
I am not okay with the behavior you mentioned.
Okay.
We haven't determined. I'm
Okay, so right.
It's for the first time. I got
Right. So
I'm just saying,
Right, we went there.
your approach
Yeah.
isn't great.
Right.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. I get that all the time.
Okay. Because I'm here to help you. I'm not here to confront you.
Okay.
And if we're not going to help each
Well,
other.
the way you de-escalated and it tells me that you're genuinely interested in what took place and figuring out what's going on.
For
So
sure.
I can appreciate that. I come off a little hard sometimes, but I'm always in defense mode. Always.
I'm always in trying to help you.
Cool.
Okay?
Awesome. That's what we want. That's what our public officials
Let's
should be.
do that. All right.
Yes, definitely.
So,
Despite Mr. Jones' attempt to now walk back his rude behavior, he and Mr. Lito proceeded to imply that Mayor Calino that they be encouraged their audience to call Bob his office. This is a practice used by auditors to cause disruption in the communication of municipal institutions and law enforcement offices.
So
I really can't do this right now.
For sure.
Because I have a Parks and Rec meeting starting in about 20 minutes, and I have some things I have to wrap up.
well, that officer created a PR nightmare for you. I'm just
Yeah, he
letting you
did.
know.
You guys are fixing to
I
get
got
thousands
plenty
of
of
phone
PR.
calls. Well, you guys are fixing to get thousands and thousands of phone calls.
Well, I will be there tomorrow if you want to come in and have a meeting with me.
Okay.
Yeah,
My office is right, we're closed right now.
For sure.
that's awesome. Do you have a card?
At least you're accessible, man.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's no exaggeration. You have to see the way that gentleman behaved. It was
Well, I'm just hearing about this, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
right. Like he shows up, he's a neutral party. He's trying to investigate to see what's going on. And yeah, and
Okay, sure.
and they were so addicted to wanting to know our identification, which isn't going to help establish anything regarding what the situation that occurred.
Mr. Leto, like many auditors and sovereign citizens, possesses an ignorance to the law and the investigation process. If the complaint is made and an investigation is required, then it is essential for law enforcement to identify all parties involved. This is standard procedure.
Knowing our names or addresses is not going to help the investigation whatsoever. You know what I mean? So that is irrelevant. So you figure it out, you investigate, and then, okay, a crime took place, now I need your ID. Right? And so that's what this is all about. And when I tell you this is bad, all I do is watch cop watching videos, and this is probably one of the worst of the worst.
Again, I don't know anything about what you're talking about.
So, but if it's true, the claims that I'm making, if they are true, you seem like you're interested in
100%.
taking care of this.
Yeah, if you're saying something's wrong, I'm not saying I completely believe you.
I'm just saying, like, that's the way the guy acts.
I don't really have any.
Right, but that's the way when I tell you it's bad, it's bad.
I'm just gonna post a video on YouTube, and the video will speak for itself, how the sergeant acted.
Mr. Jones again implies that his presence on YouTube is significant enough that posting the video will have dire consequences for Mayor Catalino and the Grand City of Utica, Michigan. The incident, by the way, has not been formally investigated, and Mr. Jones seems intent on circumventing the entire process and seeking a judgment in the court of public opinion.
And he was just mad because he thought he was gonna get my identification. I told him he wasn't gonna get mine.
Right, and then he lied and said we're on a traffic stop. It's like when you pulled up, you didn't initiate a traffic stop. You were just here to investigate what's going on. You're not asking for the other parties.
Again, I mean, I need to hear what's going on.
For sure.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
I got complaint forms. I'm gonna officially file a complaint and everything, so I'm sure you'll get to see that as well. And
You can talk to me tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be back over this way tomorrow, but I got your card, so I'll definitely
Give me a call.
Because there's two guys out there that if you were putting guns in their hands, they are truly dangerous people.
Mr. Lanto has now made an unsubstantiated and potentially slanderous claim against the officers who were at the previous incident. An incident that did not end with Mr. Lanto and his associates having their lives threatened or even cited for any criminal offense.
They're truly dangerous to the public.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's no exaggeration. I promise you it's no exaggeration.
Well, I'm anxious to see what.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
You guys have a great night.
I appreciate it.
I'm Gus.
Thank you so much.
Mayor?
Appreciate it. What is it?
Gus.
Gus?
Gus,
Appreciate it.
awesome. Thank
You
you.
guys have a great night.
Thank you.
Definitely gonna have to have a meeting with the mayor about this. Definitely, that sergeant's got to go. Both of those, sir. Yeah, the one that bent your trunk lid and the one that snapped my phone out of my hand. Cool, that's all we're gonna see here. Oh, you're calling for service?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
names and badge numbers.
Oh, yeah, they wouldn't give it to her. Well, she was gonna write them all down for me, and then he told her, just give him the complaint forms and walk away. Oh, it's Minnie Munchkin Tyrant Sergeant Bitch
Yeah,
Boy.
it's that piece of shit.
Yeah, that piece of shit cop. Oh, they're already getting phone calls from the live stream, aren't they?
Could be.
Utica Police Department,
I don't think he knows how to answer a phone.
Upon citing Mr. Morabito in the police station, the auditors proceed to resume their harassment and insults to try to further their quote-unquote YouTube content.
That was bad. That guy right there, he's a danger to the community, totally. And he's a liability for this police department. As sergeant liability.
Now you see the wheels starting to spin after he took that phone.
I think this gentleman needs assistance.
Yeah, we need the names and badge numbers of the officers who just assaulted us. We're still waiting out here for them. Okay. Said somebody's going to come to speak to us.
Okay, cool.
I'll turn my camera.
I don't want to hear you guys. I'm just going to report the accident.
No, you're fine.
But just so you know, we don't have to do that.
Oh, I didn't.
But I will.
I didn't.
Oh, I know you don't have that. That's why I have.
Okay, well, as long as you know we don't have to, then I'll respect.
We're just putting you in the camera off.
It is, man. It's good. I get my cameras. You guys know what we're doing is awful, and I don't mind. And then I'll leave you alone. Yeah, you have every right to do it. I'm not going to. Cool. know everybody. Hi. We're not total dicks. Can be, but
When it's necessary,
when it's
absolutely.
necessary.
Auditors usually are lacking in self-awareness when it comes to their own behavior and justifying their conduct, solely on the grounds that they are under no obligation to be courteous or respectful to anyone, but expect it unconditionally from everyone else.
Well, my middle name is Peter, if I didn't have
The auditors remained in the police station with no interactions with any office personnel for several more minutes, occasionally citing Mr. Sergeant Morbido and proceeding to make additional insults.
Speak to the officer with the same level of respect that you expect from
We did.
I remain calm and I explain the situation. What about when the cops arrested?
Right.
Exactly. Spoke with him.
The officer.
Even if he's touching you, I'm all right. Don't
Do
do
not
that.
run. It just may imply you just repetitive something. The officer is breaking the case.
Oh, Lord. I should have took off running when I pulled up.
That would have been funny. Jump out of the car and
I was
pull.
already out when he pulled up. I should have took off running.
The officer,
Run right around the back of his car.
this is comedy over here. The officer's questions are to clarify information and not an accusation of wrongdoing.
At this point, Sergeant Morbido and two other officers come out in the lobby to confront the auditors.
Right.
Okay. We're not taking your complaint today. You have to come back tomorrow and make your complaint. You can make as many complaints as you want tomorrow.
When Sergeant Morbido informs the auditors that they cannot take their complaints that day, he does not object to the complaints themselves. His presence there may be unexpected and ill-advised given the situation, but may suggest that he was the supervisor on duty and therefore the auditors would need to give their complaints when a different supervisor is there in order to ensure there is no conflict of interest. Miss Jones once again begins hostile again and unwilling to listen to Miss Sergeant Morbido's instructions.
I think you need to just take yourself out of the situation because right now, what you have is a conflict of interest.
Okay, for right now, you have a
Okay?
lawyer.
So you need to go
You
away.
have 2 minutes.
Go away.
You have 2 minutes. You have the mayor. Fine.
Go away.
You have 2 minutes to leave the building. If you don't leave in 2 minutes, you'll be arrested for
Then arrest him.
Who's coming
Then
up
arrest
for 2
him.
minutes?
You have 2 minutes to leave. Then arrest him.
We just need names and badge numbers and we'll
Who
leave.
decided 2 minutes? If you can't read, I don't know what to tell you. My name is
I
right
don't
there.
see
It's
your badge
called me.
number.
You don't
So
need
that's
it.
sergeant right there.
Right there.
That's
My
sergeant
last
right
name. Right there. Film it.
Here's my, come
You
here.
have 2 minutes.
I'm not
to
leaving.
leave. Oh, you have
How
2
about
minutes to
yours,
leave.
sir?
I'm not leaving.
Yeah, you're gonna leave.
can stay in the
lobby 24
No, like you got my ID.
Disrupting.
Like you got my ID. Not disrupting anything, you idiot. We're not disrupting anything.
Yeah, sure. You need
No, we're not. Shut up.
You cannot.
Shut up.
Giving you mine already. Spinelli, 376.
You
Thank you.
have a conflict of interest.
You need to go.
You need to exit.
You need to go.
I'm not.
Can I
going
have your
nowhere.
badge number, please?
Come here. Come here. Let's
Can
go.
you read or are you ignorant?
You're ignorant.
You see my badge there?
I didn't realize
Okay.
the badge number.
Can you see that?
the guy.
That's all you need. Otherwise, you're ignorant.
You need to back off and stop being
You need to
an
back
asshole.
off.
You have to leave.
You guys need to leave now. Now, there's no more 2 minutes. You're gone.
Could I please get your badge number?
If you do not leave now, you will be
Let's get the
arrested.
mayor. Let's get the mayor. See what he
If you do not leave now, you will be
Could
arrested.
I please get your badge
Now,
number?
leave.
I asked for all you guys to
That's
say the badge
fine.
number.
Okay.
You're done. You're done.
What the?
You're done.
Really?
You're under arrest.
Mr. Jones was arrested for disorderly conduct and was released an hour later. As of February 12, 2022, Mr. Jones' charges are still in effect, and Sergeant Morbido has been placed on administrative leave pending the investigation to complete.
Would you like to go next? I'll leave.
Come on, let's
You're
go.
not leaving now. Let me make the rest. Yeah.
This guy is even.
Can we get his property?
Yeah, it's his property. You can take it with him.
If he
Well,
says
you
we
want
can have it,
You
can
can
hold
take
it?
it with them and you can leave your name and number for release for them. That means the parking lot too. Leave the premises. Okay, please get his property. I just explained that. I'll get his property. He needs it or I want his property. Listen, I'm trying to be good. I'm letting you know now. Is it I want his property? I think you can tell her I'm trying to be cool.
What the?
They just fucked up.
Big time. It's a public lobby in a public building.
So who determines 2 minutes? Are you live?
No, I'm recording, but I'm not live. Let's go to the car.
Mr. Jones' video of the altercation with Sergeant Morbido, as well as footage of the arrest, was uploaded to YouTube, where it has received over 85,000 views. The video was also sent to and aired on Click on Detroit, who Jones mailed his narrative only of the incident. The video containing the accidental recording of the three auditors stating their clear intentions to bait and provoke the court was also uploaded to YouTube, emailed to Click on Detroit News, the chief of Utica's police department, and Mayor Calderino's office. It has received zero media coverage. As of today's reporting, the sergeant is still on administrative leave. No decision has been made. And with that, we will bring the post-show to a close. Like, share, and subscribe. Be kind to one another. And always release the Krakens as we march along here from day one. Next episode is our Bell of Global Consciousness coming up in the overnight.